Hi, I'm Becky from Bright Morning, and here's a resource from our CEO and Teams expert, Elena Aguilar. If your team is feeling stressed or overwhelmed, stop. Ask them questions. Now, if you're wondering which questions you should be asking them, let's go ahead and dive in.
To kick this section off, I have a question for you. How are you likely to respond when someone says they can't take on more? If you're like many team leaders I worked with, your instinct might be to solve the problem or redistribute the work. And I understand the good intentions that response comes from. But often, the more powerful move is to pause and get curious. Questions, especially really intentional ones, can reveal what's beneath the surface far more effectively than advice or solutions. I coached a manager once whose team was hitting a wall. When a team member voiced overwhelm, this manager would immediately jump in with fixes. And it kept things moving in the short term. But the real issues, which were the unclear priorities, the fear of missing deadlines, and the pressure to prove worth, never changed. So when this manager shifted to asking open, non judgmental questions, the tone of those conversations transformed. People began naming their worries instead of masking them. And together they could find solutions that addressed the actual cause, not just the symptom. You've got a downloadable resource for this section. It's called The Sentence Stems to Unpack Assumptions. And this gives you a starting point for these conversations. You can use phrases like, what feels most urgent to you right now? Or what would the consequence be if this didn't happen immediately? Helping people articulate the beliefs and fears driving their stress is what they need. Now, neuroscience tells us that when we feel genuinely listened to, our brain's threat response begins to settle down. And that makes it easier for us to think clearly and to problem solve collaboratively. So, as you use these stems, pay attention to your own mindset. Get curious and explore how you can create the conditions for your team to reflect and discover what's really going on for them. Keep your tone warm, keep your pace unhurried, and focus on listening more than talking. All right, I want to invite you to think about one conversation that's coming up where you could use these stems. And think about what might shift if you began with a curious question, maybe instead of offering a fix.
Welcome back, and thanks for checking out that resource from our Teams Learning Library. Let us know how it goes, and if you enjoyed it, subscribe to our channel and share us with a friend. We hope to see y'all soon.